Zambian President Hakainde Hichilema has sparked renewed public debate over the country's presidential burial traditions following his candid remarks about Embassy Park, the official burial site for former heads of state. In a statement that has drawn attention both locally and internationally, Hichilema expressed his personal reservations about the site, stating that while he does not favor Embassy Park, he has no alternative but to continue the tradition of burying presidents there. This comment, though brief, opens a broader conversation about national memory, political symbolism, and the evolving role of state-sanctioned spaces in Zambia's post-independence narrative. Embassy Park, located in the capital Lusaka, has become a de facto national shrine, housing the graves of several former presidents including Kenneth Kaunda, Frederick Chiluba, Levi Mwanawasa, Michael Sata, and Rupiah Banda. The site was originally designated as a presidential burial ground during the early 2000s, and while not explicitly mandated by law, it has since become the default location for state funerals. Hichilema's statement underscores a tension between personal sentiment and institutional continuity, raising questions about whether tradition should override individual or familial preferences in matters of national commemoration. The president's remarks came in the wake of discussions surrounding the eventual burial of former President Edgar Lungu, whose political legacy remains contested. While Lungu is still alive, speculation about his burial site intensified following reports that his family may prefer a different location, possibly in his home province. Hichilema's assertion that he is bound by precedent to bury all presidents at Embassy Park suggests a desire to maintain consistency in state rituals, even if the site itself does not resonate with him personally. This pragmatic approach reflects the broader challenges of governing a nation where historical memory, political allegiance, and regional identity often intersect in complex ways. From a symbolic standpoint, Embassy Park represents more than just a burial ground. It is a curated space of national remembrance, designed to project unity and continuity across administrations. Each presidential tomb is accompanied by a monument and biographical plaque, offering visitors a glimpse into the life and legacy of Zambia's leaders. The park is often used for educational tours, civic ceremonies, and diplomatic visits, reinforcing its role as a site of collective identity. However, critics argue that the park's design and location lack emotional depth and cultural resonance, especially for communities outside Lusaka who may feel disconnected from its urban, bureaucratic aesthetic. Hichilema's discomfort with Embassy Park may stem from this very disconnect. As a leader known for his reformist agenda and emphasis on decentralization, he may view the park as emblematic of a centralized, top-down approach to national symbolism. His comment could be interpreted as a subtle critique of the way Zambia memorializes its leaders, favoring uniformity over authenticity and protocol over personal meaning. In this light, the president's statement invites a re-examination of how nations construct memory, and whether alternative models of commemoration might better reflect the diversity of their histories. The debate also touches on legal and constitutional dimensions. While there is no statute explicitly requiring presidential burials at Embassy Park, the practice has become institutionalized through executive precedent. Successive governments have treated the site as a national obligation, and any deviation from this norm could be perceived as politically charged. Hichilema's acknowledgement of this constraint suggests that he is aware of the potential backlash that could arise from altering the tradition, even if he personally questions its validity. This balancing act between personal conviction and public expectation is a hallmark of democratic leadership, especially in societies where political rituals carry deep symbolic weight. Moreover, the president's statement raises broader questions about the role of space in political culture. In many African countries, burial sites of national leaders serve as focal points for historical reflection and civic education. They are often imbued with spiritual significance, becoming pilgrimage destinations for citizens seeking to connect with their country's past. In Zambia, however, Embassy Park has struggled to achieve this level of emotional resonance. Its sterile layout and limited accessibility have led some to describe it as a museum of power, rather than a living monument. Hichilema's critique may reflect a desire to reimagine such spaces in ways that foster deeper public engagement and cultural relevance. The issue also intersects with regional politics. Zambia is a nation of diverse ethnic and provincial identities, and the centralization of presidential burials in Lusaka may inadvertently marginalize other regions. By insisting on Embassy Park as the sole burial site, the state risks reinforcing a narrative that privileges the capital over the periphery. This could alienate communities who feel that their leaders should be honored in their ancestral lands, where their legacies are most deeply rooted. Hichilema's comment, while brief, opens the door to a more inclusive conversation about how Zambia honors its leaders and whether regional preferences should be accommodated in state funerals. In the digital age, such debates are amplified by social media and online discourse. Hichilema's statement has already generated significant engagement across platforms, with citizens, journalists, and political analysts weighing in on its implications. Some view his honesty as refreshing, a sign of transparency in a political culture often marked by formality and restraint. Others interpret it as a veiled critique of past administrations, suggesting that the president may be signaling a shift in how Zambia approaches national memory. Regardless of interpretation, the comment has succeeded in reigniting interest in a topic that is both emotionally charged and politically significant.